Today on Let's Fish TV, we're on Sam Rayburn Reservoir. I'm with my good friend Todd Castledine. And let me tell you guys, Sam Rayburn is a very special place to both of us. We're in the fall time of the year. We're gonna be fishing from 20 foot to 2 foot and everything else in between. I have a good feeling about today. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Todd is one of the very best on this lake, so you're definitely gonna learn a few things. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Oh my gosh. Check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
Cobia, big one, and a monster.
Look at that.
That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're on Sam Rayburn Reservoir. Sam Rayburn Reservoir is located in East Texas and is a world-renowned bass fishing lake. Today we're going to be targeting largemouth bass with my good friend Todd Castledine. You know, in the fall time of the year, the water's pretty low, but we're going to be kind of sampling a bunch of different things. Neither of us have been on the lake in quite some time. We'll be fishing deep a little bit, shallow a little bit, and everything else in between. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, we're gonna get the boat launched, get everything set up. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to set those clocks back this weekend. The Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity on Saturday and good activity on Sunday. Peak game fish activity begins early, around 4:53 Saturday and 4:45 Sunday morning. Evening activity will begin around 5:18 Saturday and 5:10 Sunday evening. Depending on your location, the sun will rise around 7:49 and set around 6:35, and evenings will have a moon that is 59% visible. Stay with us, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way. Plus, I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Drew Benton on this week's Ask the Pro feature.
Today on Sam Rayburn, we're gonna have some pretty good conditions. It's supposed to be a little windy today, which is gonna hurt a little bit, but we're in the fall time of the year. Sam Rayburn is such a great body of water. You can fish from 20 foot to 2 foot, and we're probably gonna do a little bit of everything today to try to catch them. I have a good feeling about it today. I got my good friend Todd Castledine with me. Fishing is gonna be good. You're not gonna wanna miss today's episode. Let's get out there and see what we can do. High spot. There we go.
I want to load it up.
Is it a big one?
Yeah. Dude, it's been such a long time off crankbait. I haven't caught one on a crankbait. Oh,
yeah,
a good one too. I have not caught one on a crankbait in months. I almost forgot what I was doing.
Almost. There we go.
Where you going?
I was just gonna help you land it.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it.
I mean, maybe. If he's got it across his face,
I don't know.
you're on your own.
Here he comes. It is a good one though.
No, it's a really good one. I don't think you're boat flipping that one.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm all jacked up. Like I said, I'm kind of across his face weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can go get a handful of that right there.
I really don't want
Oh
to.
yeah, I think you do.
No.
You don't want him to come off, do you?
I mean, kinda.
Oh, he's good. He's hooked good.
Until he hooks me. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's not hooked that good.
But if you'd grab him, he would be.
Yeah, but
What are you doing? I think you're doing that on purpose.
there we go.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a pretty good one there. I'd say so. Got him right up underneath the.
The other one was hooked pretty good up in there.
Yeah. First fish of the day.
Yeah.
Over 5.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Maybe closer to 6. Look at that. So guys, today we're at Sam Rayburn Reservoir, and we're here with Todd Castledine, Mr. Sam Rayburn himself. Let's get this fish back, and we're gonna talk a little bit about where we're at, what we're doing, until he catches another one.
No, yeah. Dude, they're all right there. I got a double, kind of. A double of my own.
Todd?
I'm gonna let Andrew keep talking.
No.
This is great. This is fun. Andrew can release all my fish, and I can just keep casting out there.
No, that's not how this is gonna work. But
No?
today's Let's Fish TV episode is gonna be a pretty good one, actually. We just started the day. We've been out here about 11 minutes. Todd, of course, I mean, I'm out here with one of the best guys on Sam Rayburn. Very, very well known here. Has won 4 Angler of the Years this year, or 5 or 6.
Oh,
or
this year?
This year. It's been quite a few this year, but has a rich history here on Sam Rayburn, and I couldn't think of a better person to come out here with and do a show with. You know, he caught that fish throwing a Strike King 6XD. This is a very famous color on Sam Rayburn, Chartreuse Blueback. We're actually throwing 2 different ones. We've caught a couple fish so far. I'm throwing the hard knock version. He's throwing just the regular rattling version. But that is an awesome way to start out a show, catching a really nice bass. But we're gonna get back to it. You're gonna see a lot of different stuff today, guys. You're gonna see us cranking some, you're gonna see us throwing a hybrid hunter, throwing a sexy dog. We're gonna be doing a little bit of everything in today's episode. We're just getting started, and I have a feeling today is gonna be a good day. And hopefully I catch a few and Todd doesn't catch as many.
Well, hey folks, it is time for your Carolinas Report. I'm Captain E here once again, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. My good partners over at Crazy Sister want to get you out on the water. They want to make sure you have a great time when you're here along the Grand Strand, and they can do that. Visit crazysistermarina.com to find out everything we offer, but let's talk freshwater. Good friends up on Lake Hartwell, and in particular, my good friend Captain Cephas McCrae tells me that the stripers are starting to school up. He's having a lot of success. Obviously, he's using that thumper, got that thump box working, but live bait and fresh cut bait down rods are leading to some great fish this time of the year. He's also catching, obviously, some white bass and catching some largemouth mixed in. And if, speaking of largemouth, if you're targeting largemouth, start looking for them to feed up for the winter. Get out there, pull some big crankbaits, square bills, work those rocky points. You're gonna find some big fish. It's a great time to get out and go fishing. And also back on Lake Moultrie and Lake Marion, those crappie are still on those piles. They're moved up into a little bit shallower water. You can have a lot of success right now. Live crappie minnows or shiners, or get out there with some jigs, put those Catch the Fever precision casting crappie rods to work, and go have a great time. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
We'll catch one right here.
Oh, that's grass.
Oh, that's a fish.
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna catch one right here, bang. There we go. God, he smacked it too. There we go. Eating a swim jig. You know, it's funny, I'm throwing a swim jig here on Sam Rayburn, and the person I learned to throw a swim jig for, or with, is the person I'm fishing with today, and that's Todd Castledine. We'll get this fish back real quick, but you know, Sam Rayburn is such a diverse place. We started out the day this morning. Todd caught that big one. I lost a really big one, cranking, throwing a 6XD, and now we're up in the grass. We're fishing shallow, and that's the way we like to fish in the fall here on Sam Rayburn, especially. Anytime you have matted grass, you have that chance at a really giant bass. And I have a feeling the way the weather's setting up today, we have a little front coming through, we got some wind. These are the kind of days where you have that chance at a really big fish. And I feel like between the hybrid hunter, the swim jig, a couple different baits, top water, we're probably gonna catch a big one today. There's no doubt about it. So let's get back to it and see if we can catch one of those. Golly, what did you do?
Look at that big giant swirl.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lose, feel the difference. Mamba Boats, ride with pride. Strike King, tie one on. Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
There you go. That's right where that one was. I like that.
Yeah.
Throw back up in there. Got one.
Did you got him?
Yeah.
That's probably the same one. Okay.
A little bad one.
Oh, it is better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, while Todd is unhooking that one, I'm just gonna go and catch another one.
Yeah. Not big, but it's a start. Just kind of hit it. Kind of right. He had just gotten that bite. It's always weird sometimes when you go from deep to shallow. There you go. That's right where that one was. I like that.
Yeah.
Throw back up in there.
There we go. See, I was just letting him do his whole like talking spiel, and I just figured I'd go ahead and catch a good one. There we go. Old swim jig strikes again. Golly. Had him pegged good. That's a nice one there. Let's get this fish back, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about throwing that swim jig on Rayburn and exactly what we're doing here to catch these bass. Swim jigging is probably one of the most unique ways to catch fish, especially shallow water fish. As I said earlier, Todd actually was the person that taught me how to swim jig. And how long ago was that we started swim jigging? Over a dozen years ago?
Well over that. I remember
Yeah.
it was mid 2000s.
Yeah.
It was, you know, the swim jig, I've talked about this a little bit at times. The swim jig was really this on top of the water.
Yeah.
Kind of was almost before a frog. And you could see all the bites. And then when I got down to Rayburn, I'm like, man, I started throwing it more over the grass like you would like a red eye or something like that. So it kind of changed the way I looked at it.
Is, you know, everybody was floating that swim jig around, throwing a 1/4 ounce, throwing that really small swim jig. They'd fish it real high, braided line, 30 to 50 pound braids. And you've actually seen a Let's Fish TV episode this year of me at Ross Barnett using that exact method because that's how you had to catch them. But when you get down here where you're trying to keep that swim jig lower in the water column, down in the grass like you'd fish a lipless crankbait, the hybrid hunter, some of these other baits that you keep down in the grass, that swim jig really comes out to play. But the one I've been using, and I don't know if you know about this one, but this is the Hack Attack Select swim jig from Academy, and it's an Academy exclusive swim jig. It has a 4/0 owner jungle hook in it as the hook. It has a recessed line tie. And as a trailer, I use a swimming caffeine shad. That's something that Todd turned me on to a handful of years ago, and it's just become our most consistent producer. But if you're fishing grass, more so submerged grass, you don't have to throw braid. We're throwing 20-pound fluorocarbon, a heavy action rod, and
a 1/2 ounce swim jig.
And a 1/2 ounce swim jig.
Which was what you would not throw if you were trying to keep it on top.
100%. So I'm just reeling it down and just wanting it to deflect off of the hydrilla down through there. And this time of year, especially on Sam Rayburn, if the fishing gets tough or they get kind of weird, you can pick up a swim jig day in and day out and get a lot of bites. But let's get back to it. We've had 2 or 3 bites right here in a row.
Hey y'all, welcome to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. You can click the book now button, check my availability, as well as money saving opportunities on the homepage with Salt's Gone, lurenet.com, and Pure Flats Fishing, creator of the slick lure. On the Alabama coast, we're finally getting a little cold front. Water temperature is going to start dropping. We're going to start seeing those speckled trout feeding heavy on live shrimp. Those shrimp are going to start falling out of those creeks, out of those streams, out of the grass beds that are in the delta and all throughout the tidal rivers. Those fish are going to be found by locating the flocks of birds along the Mississippi coast. They're seeing a lot of the same thing. Those speckled trout are going to start feeding heavy as these cold fronts get more persistent. Water temperatures start dropping. Anywhere you can find some speckled trout, some feeding activity in those marshes, in the creeks and the rivers, you're going to find a lot of activity, a lot of action there. Along the Georgia coast, those guys are saying the same thing. Speckled trout, redfish are about to be on the chew. The flounder fishing is still good in their area. And you know, if y'all enjoy fishing, enjoy being outside, October, November is a great time to do it. Y'all keep what you need, leave the rest. God bless, guys.
There's one. There we go, picked up the swim jig and first cast with it, caught one. Not a bad one. Golly, man, when they get on that swim jig here at Rayburn, it can get to be so much fun. I mean, as you can tell, they're just chewing on it, eating it deep in their mouth. And it's all about having the right reaction speed on it. The thing about it, you can have the wrong equipment when it comes to throwing the swim jig, especially in fluorocarbon. You have guys that want to throw like a 7-foot medium heavy, something like that, or even a smaller rod, but I'm throwing a jig worm rod. This is a 7.2, it's a Mark Rose heavy action rod. Heavy action is absolutely critical when you're throwing it on fluorocarbon to be able to hit them as hard as you can, because when you're reeling that bait, especially in that deeper grass, sometimes they're just going to load up on it, and then sometimes they're going to eat it as hard as that fish did. But it's really important to really pay attention when you're reeling that bait, that when they hit it, you have the rod in the right position to where you can hit it as soon as that fish bites it, because most of the time they've got it deep as soon as that happens. But if you have the right equipment, a fast gear ratio reel, you don't want one that's too fast. You don't want like an 8-to-1 or 9-to-1, just a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio reel. Today I'm throwing a Team Lose Elite, and but that fast gear ratios allows you to set the hook, catch up that line, and be able to catch that fish. Fish are biting here at Sam Rayburn. We're fishing shallow. We're not using a bunch of electronics or anything like that. Old school fishing, throwing a hybrid hunter, throwing a swim jig. I'm gonna get back out there. We'll see you out here in just a second.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier outdoors since 1982.
Go! There we go. Sorry, Todd. Go! There we go. Sorry, Todd.
Hey, I'm just glad it's
What
the
kind of
plan
jump
worked.
was that?
Huh?
Did you see that jump? That was the weirdest jump ever.
I told you we'd come catch some on a topwater.
About time.
Hey, just gotta wait till it gets right.
What is he doing? I think I have him like hooked in the side or something. Oh, he's got him across his face. There we go. There we go. That's not a bad one.
They're all hitting it hard though. I like that.
I'm just wrecking it.
Yes.
Ooh. You know, when it comes to throwing a topwater, there's a lot of really good topwaters out there. But I think Todd and I can both agree, and I can honestly say I got Todd hooked on this particular bait.
Well,
The hard knock,
yes.
the Sexy Dog hard knock. This is the single knocking version of the Strike King Sexy Dog. And for years, both of us and most of the country fished the regular rattling Sexy Dog. And I picked up the hard knock, and it was night and day, the difference in bites here. So I started fishing it everywhere else, and I mentioned to Todd one time about, I think I only mentioned to him one time how good it was and how good it performed, and he's like, oh, it don't matter. And now it's literally the only one he throws anymore, just like me. I will not throw another Sexy Dog other than the hard knock version. That's a better one.
That's a good. Well, still not bad though.
No, it ain't bad.
Pretty cool bite.
That was a great bite. He smoked on it pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm down with them when they eat it like that. It's not a bad one. You know, it's funny, like we're back in this pocket, this old Main Lake pocket here on Rayburn, and Todd is throwing a chrome, solid chrome, I think they call it Carolina Chrome Sexy Dog hard knock. I'm throwing a bone one, and we're both getting just as many bites as each other. You know, I mean, it just goes to show you that when people make such a big deal about color, it's really not that big a deal. Now, I have been on certain places that a more transparent bait would be better than a bone and vice versa, but when you go to a place where they're actually eating, it really doesn't matter.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. This week, it's Brant who would like to know, what are some things you know now that you wished you knew earlier on in your career? To get the answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Drew Benton.
The biggest thing that I've learned, and I wish I knew early on, is, the more simple you can keep things when we're out here fishing, the better off you are, and the more ahead of the game you will be. These fish, they're just wild creatures, and they are creatures of habit, and they eat worms. I joke around and say that all the time. They're not that smart, so the more you can simplify things and just keep covering water and fish efficiently, you'll be way ahead of the game.
If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today on Sam Rayburn, Todd and I use quite a few different baits to catch our fish. When you're in the fall time of the year, you can truly fish from deep to shallow and everywhere in between. We started out deep. Todd was throwing a 6XD. Chartreuse and blue is just such a staple color here. Using the 8XD rod. This is an actual cranking rod designed for an 8XD, but both of us really like to use it for a 6XD. Then we went shallow. The shallow water bite is where we got majority of our bites. Now the big one came out deep. Todd caught it. I lost the big one. It's probably way bigger than Todd's. But, he caught one about 6 pounds out there. But as soon as we went shallow, that's where both of us are extremely comfortable in this lake. For me, I picked up that Hack Attack Select swim jig. It's an Academy exclusive. Put that little ghost shad, caffeine shad, cut it down a little bit. A 7.2 heavy action luge rod and a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio elite reel. The other bait I was using quite a bit was a Strike King Sexy Dog hard knocked. Throwing that on a bladed jig rod, 30-pound braid and a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio Pro TI.
The deal is if you notice, we threw baits a lot of times in different places under different conditions. We had a lot of wind today, and then we get in really calm areas. So we would choose our baits depending on really the wind, and if it was sunny or cloudy and things like that. That's why we were able to move around. A lot of times when we pulled up to places, we got bit instantly, and it would be doing something different than where we left.
Yeah, it's so important to just keep an open mind and to just kind of adapt through the day. That's the best thing you can do in the fall is adapt through the day. If it's cloudy, windy, just kind of pay attention to those little bitty details and you'll be able to catch them. But guys, I hope y'all enjoyed how Todd and I caught him today on Sam Rayburn. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.